The story that really strikes out to me when I think about an experience where I've connected with another person that's really impacted me, it basically happened during my trip to Nepal this past summer. I'm originally from Nepal, but I've resided in San Diego for more than 10 years. But after the earthquakes in Nepal earlier this year, or earlier last year, in April and May 2015, thousands and thousands of people were killed and so many homes were devastated, and I felt this responsibility to go back and make an impact. The San Diego community was amazingly helpful in making this possible, and eventually I made my way to Nepal, to a rural village called Barnegaon in Sindhupalchok district of Nepal. And there I met this community that basically had no houses remaining amongst them. Now we're talking about a community of nearly 1,000 people. There were so many people killed, and they were just, living in shacks that they'd assembled from whatever was remaining from the after effects of the earthquake. One particular instance is basically that of this woman who I'm related to in some way. Basically, I have a very distant relative that lives in that village, and she was lucky to survive. And it was really shocking to me because, she was living in this shack. They barely had space to sleep, but even after the earthquake, she actually had a small photo of me that she had kept. It was a photo of me as a child. I don't even have that photo, but she had kept that, and it was amazing that she was so enthusiastic and happy to receive us, to connect with us. I'd never met her before, and even being a distant relative, she cared so much, and that caring really spoke to me as a human. I felt like even when someone has nothing, they still retain their human qualities. That's what makes them human. They had maybe 3 beds between 10 people to share, and there were 3 of us visiting this village as guests, and they insisted that we take those beds. Due to their generosity and compassion, we got to sleep in beds that night. It was really humbling because it just didn't make sense to me how someone who had absolutely nothing could be so generous. So the woman who kept my photo after all those years that I didn't even know, she cared for me just based on the fact that we were related, and these are the people who gave us their beds, their food. They shared everything that they possibly could. They were so happy to have us there. It was just absolutely shocking and eye-opening for me. That connection matters to me so much. I think about it every day. It's the reason that I do what I do. They had absolutely no need to make it. Their ability to show me their true human nature, which I think is based off of compassion and generosity, is what made this really important to me. And their courage and kindness, despite everything that they've been through, it basically really spoke to me, and I want to be like them. I may be helping them in some way, but honestly, they're helping me.
Wow, great story.
Thank you.